So is it possible for you in your mind to know what you remember from April 4th or what you testified to today based on your review of the video over and over and over again?
Sir, what I saw first before the video is not in the video. You know, it's not in the video. It's in my memory.
In your statement, you said that you lost contact and you couldn't see them as they turned into the lot.
That's correct.
You told them then you walked closer to the fence. In your statement, you said that you lost contact and you couldn't see them as they turned into the lot.
That's correct.
You told them then you walked closer to the fence and stopped. Were you walking or running?
As soon as I got to the alley, in the alley, I started walking there. That was to locate what was going on, to locate the individuals. And as soon as I saw them, I started walking towards the fence.
And you saw the police officer try to arrest Mr. Scott.
Try to arrest?
Yes.
I saw
That's
the police.
What you told Sled.
I saw the police officer in an arrest position.
And he tried unsuccessfully to hold Scott's left shoulder to arrest him. That's what you said.
No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir, that's not what you said?
I said that he was in an arrest position. He was on top of Scott. He was on top of Scott. And he was, I won't say tasing him, but just punch him on the back. That's, one of the first things that I saw before hearing the electric sound of him, trying to control him.
Well, the electric sound, did you hear any electric sound before you started videoing?
If I'd hear the electric sound before the video, yes, I did hear the electric sound.
How many times did you hear it?
I won't say how many times, but it was straight to I have videotaped the video.
Right.
As soon as I got there, the electric sound is what made me locate them.
Because you couldn't see them? You could only hear them, you couldn't see them?
Sir, as soon as I run over there, I didn't know where were they located. In the entry of the alley, I heard the electric sound, and my eyes went to the electric sound it was.
When you saw them turn into the alley, did you hear an electric sound as they turned into the alley?
No, sir.
And how long, if you can estimate, was it until you heard the electric sound?
As soon as I got in the alley, that's when I hear it.
And you say that you saw, it looked to you like Slager was in a position of arrest and Scott was trying to run away, to move away, to run away.
He was moving and sound, his sound was uncomfortable for the electricity, I believe. That's what I saw, moving away from there.
In your mind, based on the prism in which you looked at life, you thought that Scott was getting tased. And that's what you heard. Did the solicitor tell you that if you can hear...
Sir, is that a statement or question? If it's a question, he needs to have an opportunity to respond. So you may respond to the last
Is that
question.
something you heard, or is that something that
All
the
right, the
solicitor?
jury is to disregard the last statement since it wasn't a question. And you may proceed.
What statement was that they should disregard?
Inquired as to whether it was a statement or a question. If it was a question, allow him to answer. You proceeded to answer another question, so the jury is to disregard the statement, the previous statement. You may proceed with your questions.
Was that my statement or the witness's statement?
Proceed, sir.
Let's go back and try again. When you saw Officer Slager, and who you later known as Mr. Scott, go into the field, you did not hear the electrical sound. Is that correct?
When they turned to the field, I didn't hear the electric sound.
And it was sometime subsequent to that that you first heard the electrical sound. Is that correct?
Sir, my English is second language. Can you please try to speak as simple as possible? I don't understand the legal terms in rhetoric.
No
Please.
legal terms.
If we want to be in the same page, I believe that's the best thing that we can do.
Actually, I'm on page 4 of your statement.
Then I would like to be in page 4 then.
Would you like to see it?
No.
So, how long was it after they went into the field that you heard the electrical sound?
As soon as I enter to the alley, that's where I hear the electric sound.
So, how long was it after they went into the field that you heard the electrical sound?
How long? If you want me to say to the viewers in seconds, or how you want me to say? Because
you remember what happened that day, correct?
If not, I wouldn't be here.
Pardon me?
If I wouldn't remember, I wouldn't be here today.
Okay. So you remember what happened that day, and you've watched your video a number of times.
Correct.
Can you tell the jury about how long after they went into the field that you heard the electrical sound?
I can describe it in seconds, because I run over there. I try to be there as fast as possible. And maybe I would say I got there maybe less than 10 seconds, maybe less.
And you heard the electrical sound. The question is, was that recorded on the video that you've watched?
That was recorded on the video. You can hear it also.
Have you heard more than one electrical sound on the video?
I've heard just the electrical sound since the beginning, since I was approaching the fence.
And do you know how a taser makes that sound?
No, sir, I didn't know that a taser can make that sound. But I could describe the electricity sound of a stun gun or something.
So has the solicitor or SLED, when you met with him, told you that a taser makes that sound when it doesn't make an electric circuit?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Has anyone told you in your meeting with SLED or the solicitor or anybody from law enforcement or your attorney that sound comes from a taser when there's not an electrical connection?
I don't remember if that was said to me.
But what you have said is your opinion that Mr. Scott was getting tased.
That's correct.
And in fact, you didn't see the fight on the ground.
As soon as I get there in the ground, they were both of them in the ground. Now, if you're telling me the distance before getting in the alley, yes, I didn't saw that part.
In the alley, did you watch the fight that took place?
There was no fight there, sir. A fight, I understand that it's two people fighting. There was no fight.
Let me look at your video.
Take a look at the video.
Okay, I'm going to take a single shot of your video.
Yes.
And it's not a very good video. Best video you made that day, correct?
Just a moment, sir. You cannot give commentary, you must pose questions.
I asked a question, I asked them correct.
All right,
Correct
restate
means-
the question, ma'am, Madam Court Reporter, let me hear it.
And it's not a very good video, that's the video you did that day, correct?
All right, the objection is sustained, or the court instructs you to pose another question. It's not a question.
The inflection of correct is what I would say requires a yes or no answer. So when I make a statement, that's my statement, and I'm asking if you agree with it by inserting correct at the end. Do we understand each other?
I'm trying to understand.
Okay, well, if you're confused, just tell me.
Yes.
So, in your video, the quality of the video of the fight is not the quality of the video of the shooting. Is that correct?
Sir, I can tell you that question because I'm not a professional in videos. I don't know about that. I record the video. What you see in the video, that's what it is there.
I have a single shot of the fight, please. Is that a shot of your video?
I believe so.
Does it have a person in a blue uniform?
Your Honor, I'd ask if we're going to be publishing things that we have some exhibit numbers, at least for ID, so we can refer to them later. Don't believe these are in evidence.
Is
Mr.
that-
Savage, respond to the solicitor's request that you offered into evidence if you want to publish it to the jury.
I asked if that was his video, and I thought the answer was yes.
You
Your Honor, I
did,
believe we still
Just a
need an
moment.
exhibit number for the record, so that we can refer properly to what's being shown to the jury now and if it's shown again later.
Mr. Savage.
That's her exhibit, Your Honor. All I asked him if that was his video.
What exhibit number is it?
I have no idea that's her exhibit.
That's her request to refer to it as an exhibit number.
It's okay. We'll withdraw that. Have you seen a video with the solicitor of single shots of the fight? Has the solicitor shown you a video, your video, with single images of the fight?
No, sir.
You have not.
I haven't seen any of that.
So if there was a video that the FBI produced that showed the single shots of the fight, you haven't seen it.
Sir, I will say it again. As soon as I got there and tried to have the video camera, I didn't saw any fight. Now, show me the video. If the prosecutor is agreed that that's the same video and that nothing happened after, then I'm agreed that would be the video.
Did you describe your view of the fight, that portion which you saw, as Scott pulling his arms away when Slager attempted to control him?
That's correct. I say that. Yes.
So there's no question that the two of them were touching each other on the ground in a fight.
On the ground was Walter Scott, the officer I saw on top, controlling Walter Scott.
And again, the color of the clothing was Mr. Scott was wearing a green shirt.
That's correct.
Did you say that Scott tried to get rid of the officer by pulling his arm away and began to turn at the same time?
In which point of the video are you talking about?
Well, those are your words. I'm not sure.
Sir,
That's
I'm
why.
asking.
Even in this court, you don't get to ask a question. I ask the question.
If I'm confused, you should explain it.
I'm referring to your statement that you gave on 4 separate occasions to your lawyer, your lawyer's partner, the paralegals, and the 4 SLED agents. Did you describe to them your observation of the fight?
I did describe what happened in the video and what I saw. It wasn't a fight.
And you described the physical contact, whether it was a fight or not, between the two.
I did describe that from, yeah.
And you described that Slager was attempting to control Scott, but that Scott tried to get rid of the officer.
I did describe, and I said that Scott was trying to get away from the taser, and the officer was in position of control.
And that Scott got up fast and aggressive.
That's correct.
And at that time, did you see who had the taser in their hand?
I didn't saw the taser in the hands of Scott. Now, I could see the hand of the officer, just one hand, clearly. And it was, like I say, a lot of movement from them, but you can see his left hand, I believe. Yes, his left hand.
And did you say that maybe you couldn't see anything in their hands because of their body positions or the angle that you were viewing them from?
That's correct, sir. And because it was a lot of movement from them.
Did you see them touching each other when Officer Slager first drew his weapon?
Can you please explain what's touching for you?
Were the 2 people that you saw, Mr. Scott, Mr. Slager, in physical contact when Officer Slager drew his weapon?
As soon as I got there was physical contact from them.
The question is, when Officer Slager withdrew his weapon, were they still engaged in physical contact? Were they touching each other?
When they stand up, he get agreed. He get rid of the officer aggressively, in a sense, just to determine it to run away. Yes, the officer was touching him, was, I believe, grabbing him.
When you described earlier for the jury, you talked about the position of Officer Slager and Mr. Scott. Could you have been confused?
Can you repeat the question?
Do you remember showing the jury earlier with,
Yes.
right? And you showed them the position of who was standing where?
That's when they get up. Yes.
And were you confused at that moment
If I was confused,
when you showed the jury where they were standing?
if I was confused,
Yes.
no.
So you're absolutely certain that Mr. Scott was standing facing Mr. Slager from Mr. Slager's viewpoint to the right?
No, sir. I explained over there that was the kind of movement that I saw from there. Not before he got up. That was the kind of movement that I saw when them on the ground.
After they got up. Did you describe that they were toe-to-toe? That both people had their toes pointing in the same direction, one at the other?
No, sir. How they got up very fast.
And they didn't stay there with toe-to-toe? Toe-to-toe, do you understand what that means?
Toe to toe, like in front of each other.
When Mr. Scott got up, he didn't turn his back and run, did he?
When Mr. Scott got up, he turned to run away.
Are you saying that Mr. Scott and Officer Slager were never toe-to-toe, like I'm toe-to-toe with this gentleman now? And are you saying that they weren't touching each other at the time they were toe-to-toe?
No, sir, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying. I already demonstrated to you that he was grabbing an arm of Scott.
Are you saying that when they were touching each other, Officer Slager wasn't unholstering his weapon?
That's not the position right there. That's not what I saw. Walter Scott wasn't in front of Slager like that.
But of course, the video would show the truth.
The video will show. The video that I record will show.
Now, you indicated that in your mind, the judge allowed you to say what was in Slager's mind, that you testified that Slager saw you and recognized you.
I don't know if he recognized me, but he did saw me, and I can show you that. It might be the also.
And that was immediately after the shooting.
Immediately when he shot, I don't know if he saw me, but when I was there, when I get closer toward the Scott, yes, he saw me there.
That is when Officer Slager went over to handcuff Mr. Scott.
No, sir. That's when he went back over there toward where Walter Scott was with the other officer.
So he didn't see you until later on. Is that your testimony?
I don't know if he saw me after he shot, after he shoot, but he saw me there after I was, let's say, walking towards there to Walter Scott.
And you say that he picked something up?
Yes, sir.
Did you see him looking for something to pick up?
If I see him looking for something,
Yes.
my focus wasn't on the officer. It was Walter Scott.
And whatever was dropped, if you saw something dropped, was it picked up within 30 seconds?
When I was there, I didn't saw anything being dropped, but he bent down to pick up something after that.
Now, when you were there that day and you spoke to the police officers, you said that you spoke to a bald-headed officer.
That's correct.
Could it have been a fully haired African-American officer?
I also spoke with African-American officer before spoken with the other officer that you just described.
And they both ignored you and told you to go away?
No, both of them. Just one of them was the black officer, and he just told me, to leave, that everything was okay. The other guy didn't do that. He said to stay there.
And you decided not to stay there.
That's correct. I decided to leave.
And did you, when you saw the shooting, did you immediately dial 911, or who did you call to report what was going on to get emergency services for this gentleman who was on the ground?
Well, sir, I believe that the person who were there was supposed to do that job.
Now, I'm asking whether you did that, whether you, seeing what had happened, did you pick up the cell phone and say, 911, there's been a shooting, get an ambulance here?
Sir, like I say, I didn't thought about doing that because the officers were already there.
And when you go to work and you walk down Craig Street every day to work and you turn on Remount Avenue, there's an ambulance station right there.
There's a fire station there.
An ambulance station right there.
That's correct.
And did you run over there or call over there or in any way seek to get an emergency response who was not a police officer, somebody who was EMS or a fireman to come?
Sir, I believe, and for my understanding, I believe that the police was supposed to do that job, not me. I never thought about that. I was late for work.
You were in a hurry for work.
That's correct.
And you know, because you heard Officer Slager immediately upon the shooting get on his radio and say, shots fired, suspect down. He grabbed my taser. You heard that, didn't you?
I hear him talking. Now, I didn't, like I say, my English is not the first language. I couldn't understand him
But
saying that.
whatever he said, you know that he did that immediately upon the shooting.
Sir, I'd hear him saying something. I didn't know what it was.
And it could have been shots fired, suspect down, he grabbed my taser.
I can tell you that. He was the one who would speak. I don't know.
Now, you didn't talk to the police, you didn't talk to the firemen, you didn't talk to emergency services, you didn't give a statement, but you talked to a lawyer, and the lawyer arranged for you to go to New York City, where you were on the Today Show, you were on the Morning Joe show, you were on Mr. Cooper's CNN show, you were on a half dozen TV shows before you talked to the police.
No, sir.
That's not correct?
That's not correct.
What is
After that happens, I didn't talk to any lawyer. On Saturday when all this happened, like I say, I didn't know that Walter Scott was dead. For my understanding, he was alive, and they were taking care of him. So I believe it wasn't my job to call the police because they were already there. And I went to my barbershop and just decided to stay there and talk to a friend of mine about what happened. Now, when we knew that Walter Scott was dead, that's when I tried to look for an attorney, not to go for the media, like you say, for protection. And even the media appearance that I did, it was for my own protection, so the world can see if anything would have happened to me. That was the reason why, because I record that video.
And at some point in time, you talked to your friend about the video.
Which friend, sir?
Weems.
Williams, correct.
And had you talked to a lawyer at that point?
No, sir.
And the first lawyer you called was Mr. Tony O'Neill.
Say it again, sir.
Mr. Anthony O'Neill, Tony O'Neill.
I believe that's the name of the person that we went on Monday.
And you called him several times. I mean, it wasn't just one time you called him or talked to him, you were on the phone with him on several occasions.
No, when I went over there with Anthony O'Neill, and he, we went to the office. We went to the office, remember, for a recommendation that that they gave us to Williams, and we went over there to the office to speak with him and telling him that this was what happened, and we're looking for protection, before handling the video toward the Scott attorneys.
And that was before the police knew, you didn't call the police, you went to see Mr. O'Neill, and you didn't like the way he responded to you because you were looking for protection.
That's correct, sir.
The fact that he told you to turn the tape.
Objection, Your Honor.
What is the objection?
Objection to, one, hearsay from Mr. O'Neill, and two, the privilege of Mr. Santana seeking an attorney and what that advice was.
All right, response, Mr. Slager. Mr. Savage.
I'll withdraw the question.
Okay.
As a result of the advice that Mr. O'Neill gave you, did you do what he asked you to do?
What advice, sir?
I can't tell you, because the solicitor doesn't want me to tell you.
Sir, for
Did you
me,
follow his advice?
sir, we went to that office. Then we went to meet with attorneys, with the attorney of Walter Scott, of the family of Scott. Then we went over there to the office of Anthony O'Neill. And I explained with the attorney of the family of Scott that we are looking for protection before handling that video. And we went over there to the office to do that. And when we got there, he decided to talk with the attorneys of the family, Walter Scott, talk about things, about other attorneys, and so many other stuff that I didn't feel that he was being attentive to what I was looking for. I was looking for protection. That didn't work out, so I left.
Mr. Santana, when you talk about protection, are you talking about physical protection, or are you talking about legal protection for the tape? What do you mean by protection?
Well, I didn't have, like I said, the understanding of what options, they were going to offer me, but I was looking for personal protection, let's say protection for witness or something. That's what I was looking for.
So is that a physical protection? You were afraid that somebody would hurt you or harm you?
Yes, sir.
And you went to Mr. O'Neill and expressed that to him.
Yes, sir.
And of course, protection in our community is offered by police departments. And Mr. O'Neill is not in North Charleston. He's in the city of Charleston, which is governed.
Your Honor, I would object to the testimony of Mr. Savage.
Pose the question, Mr. Savage.
What police department governs Mr. O'Neill's office?
Can you repeat the question, please?
What police agency governs Mr. O'Neill's office?
I don't know, sir.
Do you know whether there's a police department in the city of Charleston?
I didn't know that, sir.
Do you know if there's a sheriff in Charleston County?
I believe that's supposed to, I know North Charleston police, but like I have said before, my only routine has been from job to my house. I haven't been related in the community and know, let's say, the police department or anything like that before.
Well, you lived in Rhode Island, Providence, correct?
Yes, I live in
And
Providence.
you lived in Newark, New Jersey.
That's
And
correct.
you lived in Florida.
In Florida, I didn't live in Florida.
You just visited there?
I have been in Florida just to depart to the Dominican Republic.
And you know that there are different police departments in Rhode Island and New Jersey and Florida and South Carolina, right?
That's correct.
And did you reach out to any police agency in South Carolina to tell them you have the video?
No, sir.
And did you reach out to the FBI?
No, sir.
Did you reach out to the State Law Enforcement Division?
No, sir.
Did you reach out to Morning Joe?
No, sir.
You didn't?
No, sir.
You didn't go to NBC Studios? They paid your way up there?
I didn't reach to them. My attorney did.
And you talked to at least a dozen media representatives before you talked to the police?
Because I didn't know the procedures. I didn't know that I have to talk to the law enforcement. I didn't know that.
Because you asked your friend Weems on April 4th, see what they would offer for it. You wanted to sell the video long before you told the police about it.
You misunderstanding, and let me explain if I can. When this happened, like I say, we went in the barbershop. We meet over there. But I didn't know that Scott was alive. So he started talking to the media, to some media that he had contact. And that's when I decided to talk to him and say, well, if they are offering something, let's see what they offer. But I didn't know that Scott was dead.
But the NBC folks offered you a trip to New York. They paid your way there. They paid for your expenses in New York. They paid for your attorney's expenses to get to New York and in New York. And that was all before you provided any information to law enforcement.
That's correct. But that, I didn't handle any of that. That was something that my attorney did, not me.
And the money didn't end then.
Say it again?
The money didn't end then because you opened a GoFundMe account. You wanted to get $15,000 because you needed the money. And then within a week, you tried to sell the rights of that video for $20,000.
No, sir. That's not correct.
But your lawyer did it, I guess.
Everything was handled by my attorney. I didn't ask for $50,000. I didn't open an account to donate. Everything was made by my attorney because many people started calling to the office saying that they want to donate.
And you tried to sell the rights to your video. You did, not your attorney. You did.
Sir.
To Reuters International.
They sent me that, but that was just, can I see it, please? So I can explain. Yes, sir, that's correct. That's my firm.
That's your signature, is it not?
Yes, sir.
How much did you try to sell your video for?
Say it again?
How much money did you try to sell your video for?
After that happens, and my attorney spoke with the Walter Scott family or the attorneys, they were agreed to sell, not to sell, but they were agreed that I'll be taken care of, if anything that I would need. So my attorney did this negotiation with them. They did email me this contract, and I did sign it because the family was agreed.
Okay, so let's see if we can refresh. You went to an independent attorney by the name of Tony O'Neill who gave you advice that you didn't accept. Correct?
I can answer you that because I don't know which advice you're talking about.
Mr. O'Neill, first attorney you went
Yes, the first attorney that I met over there, and the attorneys of Walter Scott family that went there also.
And then you went to, somebody's got their head down, that's a U.S. attorney. Jared and Todd Rutherford were the Scott's family's attorney, correct?
The Scott families, yes, told me.
And the fellow with the nice-looking tie, and the fellow with was the attorney you went to. And he introduced you to the fellow with the not-so-nice tie, the blue tie. Is that correct? Those are the guys that you went to.
Sir, I think you talking like if you were there. So can I please explain? Because, you know, you were not there and you talking all things, you know, that just let me talk, okay?
Okay, but remember, you wouldn't talk to me for the last 18 months. It's the first time I
Hey,
got to talk to you.
and I haven't any problems talking to you before, you know. I don't have any problem. The truth is the truth. Same to you, same to the prosecutors.
So the question
You know, I don't have any problem speaking with you.
The question is, did the Scott family's lawyer get you the lawyer that tried to get this money for you?
No, sir. They did talk to that attorney for protection. He was a politician for minority he is, and that's, you know, what he recommends. He didn't recommend me for money. He recommended me for protection. Now, I was going to go to the media. He knew that the media was looking for me, and I talked to him and say, I'm going to go to the media because I think that way I'll be safe, because they will know that I videotaped that video, that I did this. If anything that would happen to me, they would know the reason why. And that's when the attorney had other offers from the media for me to stand up and show over there. But not me. I didn't look for money from the media. That's, you know, the attorney, Todd Rutherford, they were offering money to go over there to the media.
So the document that you just saw where you signed was with Reuters. Did you then sign a document for a celebrity agent in Australia?
That's correct.
And the celebrity agent would represent you to pay you money?
That's correct. That's something that Todd Rutherford get in contact with.
And since you become represented by this agent, have you received money?
Yes, sir.
And have you personally received money?
When you say personally, you mean?
Like the lawyer didn't get the money, you got the money.
Yes, sir.
And that money was electronically transferred to you in the Dominican Republic.
That's correct.
So the money didn't go to you in the United States, it went to you in your home country.
Yes, sir. That's where my family is, and the money after that, it was to support my family, not me.
And when did you get that money?
When?
Yes.
That happens, I would say, weeks. They didn't send the transaction or everything, you know, in just one money. They used to send it, let's say, $2,000 a week, and therefore it was to buy a house, and I even couldn't buy the house because I couldn't have the money together. That's you know what happened. But it was around May when I opened the bank account over there.
The second month, a month after Mr. Scott died, you were getting money.
I believe so. Yes. Yes.
And you stayed in the United States until December of that year.
No, I went back to my country, and they came back over here again. I spent there maybe I believe 2 weeks, a week, and then come back over here.
And when did you leave the United States to go over there for a more permanent stay?
Yes, I left the 3rd of December of last year. I left to Dominican Republic.
But you got some money directly here in the United States.
I got $8,000 for a donation page that was created, and that money was to buy a car.
And where did the car, where was that purchased? Where was the car purchased?
Where was?
Yes. Where did you purchase
Oh,
it?
it was here. I bought it here.
In the United States.
Correct.
Now, the money that was sent to the Dominican Republic while you were in the United States makes me think of something else. Did you have a barber's license?
No, sir, I didn't have a barber's license.
And how long did you operate as a barber in the state of South Carolina without a license?
Full time, I operate, I believe, 2015, around full time. I've been doing it since 2013, but never full time.
At the barber shop you worked in, did it have a business license or any regulation by the government?
No, sir. That's why the business went down.
And the camera that you had on
The-
April 4th,
Say it again.
the camera that you had on
Camera.
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 You took a video
Yes, yes.
camera,
The cell phone.
cell phone.
Yes,
It's got a camera.
yes.
Did the cell phone see what was happening different than the human eye was seeing it?
Can you repeat? Can you explain and repeat the question, please?
Did the camera have a telescopic lens on it that's different from what the human eye sees?
I won't say that it would be different to from the eyes. Like I can see very clear, and let's say some of the things that I did is I zoomed the video, so it can have a clear view in the video that I put.
Are you saying that you saw what happened better than the video camera saw what happened?
Yes, sir.
And you're saying that there was no fight in which Mr. Scott was on top of Officer Slager?
I never saw Mr. Scott being on top of Mr. Slager.
And you could see better than the camera, correct?
Sir, that's correct.
And you've looked at the video,
Can you say that again?
and you have looked at the video many, 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 many times since April 4th.
I don't know about that many times.
You've seen it many times.
I've seen it several times, the video.
And did anybody stop the video and question you about what was happening in the video at a certain time in the video?
I don't think so, sir.
Nobody ever asked you if you could see on the video Mr. Scott on top of Officer Slager.
I have seen talking about that, let's say in the news or any other forum, but no one have talked to me about that.
And nobody has asked you or shown you that while they were standing toe-to-toe, Officer Slager was in the process of taking out his weapon.
You can see that on the video, but like I say, the only thing that I saw was a man running away and trying to get away from the taser, not fighting like you said. I didn't saw that.
And has anybody told you where Mr. Scott was shot on his body?
I was there. I saw him running away and shot him in the back.
When you say in the back, what do you mean?
His back. He wasn't shot in the chest. He was shot on his back.
Would you show me on my body where you mean?
I can tell you, describe it where was the shot located in his body, but I believe it was on his back because that's when he fell. Maybe I don't know if it was in his head. I'm sorry to say that to the family. I don't know. I didn't know where it was, but it was running away from him.
When you saw him shot, when he went down on the ground, were there any shots fired after he went down?
When he got on his knees, when he fell and he got on his knees and he fell down completely. I didn't hear any shots, sir.
Did you hear Officer Slager cursing?
Say it again.
Did you hear Officer Slager curse or yell at Mr. Scott?
He just say, after the shooting, he say, put your hands on the back. Yes, like hands on the back, something like
But
that.
not out of anger, not out of animosity, because that's what police officers do when they arrest someone.
I believe so. I believe so.
Very close to God. Apparently, when you were with the solicitor, you made some corrections,
Yes, sir.
including the position of Mr. Scott.
I believe that when she gave me the statement to read, I believe it was something that I saw that didn't really match from what I saw in the statement.
Because earlier you testified that his face was on the ground.
Face was on the ground.
Yes.
Yes, I tell her that it was on his back. As soon as I saw Scott moving towards the alley, I saw Scott in his back and the officer on top of him. That's what I saw. I saw him on his back. That's when I entered to the alley. That's what happened.
I didn't answer your question.
Just briefly, Your Honor. Clayton, you saw the two men on the ground,
Yes,
and you say there was no fight.
yes.
Explain to the jury what the word fight means to you.
Fight, fight for me is between two individuals or more. And fight is when somebody punch you, somebody is trying to attack you. But that's not what I saw from Scott. I saw punch, yes, from the officer.
Did you ever see Scott punch?
I never saw Scott punch the
So,
officer.
to fight, in your mind, is two people striking each other back and forth.
Attacking each other, yes.
When you saw the two men on the ground, were two people attacking back and forth?
No, ma'am. I didn't saw that.
But the two men on the ground were struggling.
Yes, they were in the ground. If that's the correct word, struggling, then they were struggling on the ground. He was moving a lot, such as was the officer.
And your perception of his movement was that he was trying to do what? What was your perception as you saw it?
He was trying to get away from that electricity. He was trying to get away from the officer.
And when they stood up, if you could come down again,
Yes.
if you were Officer Slager and I'm Mr. Scott, what was your vantage point? If we were face to face, what direction were you in? Where were you? To them, the two of them. You're the officer, I'm Mr. Scott, and we're now on our feet. What direction were you?
Over here. Scott is facing out.
So you're in Scott's position now? Okay, where would the officer be? Put me in the officer's position. You stay there as Scott. put me in the officer's position. Tell me where to go.
Let's see, the officer should be here. And this, because, you know, is, first we have to just explain to you in which point. Like, first explain to me which point are you talking about? When they got up, because when he got up.
Who? You gotta be careful with he. Who got up?
Walter Scott.
Okay.
Walter Scott got up. What he did is just trying to say, this is the officer here. And you heard him say, yes, for the man can, it should be like here, but not supposed to be here. That's
Where was the officer's right hand? This hand. Could you see it? His
the
right
hand.
hand
Yes,
is down. You couldn't see what was in this hand.
that's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
The officer's left hand had Scott's right hand.
I believe it was, that hand, and he just, you know, tried to get away and just run from it.
Okay. You, filming, are that way.
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Let me recross. All right, thank you, sir. Can you step down?
All right.